Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is the Super Nintendo version of Mario's Time Machine. I have been wanting to play this one for some time now, but I was never sure exactly how I wanted to handle this. Plus, there were like a zillion other games that I wanted to do before I ended up doing this one. It's developed by the software Toolworks, which also developed Mario is Missing, which was also on Super Nintendo. I still have fun memories of playing through and recording and doing all that for the channel a couple of years ago, before I recorded this. And this is gonna be not exactly more the same. This is gonna be a game that is handled differently compared to Mario is Missing, but it's still going to be education centered, and it will be based in the social studies, when instead of geography, you're going to be doing history. I've basically decided how I wanted to cover this. I basically want to rip and tear through the game, just to show how good I am at it, because once you learn how to do everything, you can easily get through this game in less than an hour, maybe. But at the same time, I wanted to show off how to play the game in the first place for those who have never played this game before. Thankfully, I have managed to do some things that will allow me to do that, and therefore, this will become part 0 of the Let's Play. Part 1 will be the part of the game, or part of the Let's Play rather, where I go into this game proper and start ripping and tearing the game apart. Not just critically, mind you, but also getting from beginning to end as well. Anyway, you've seen the opening cutscene for long enough. I'm gonna wait for it to come back. You can start a new game, or you can start from password. I'm just gonna start adventure, and I'm just gonna do one level here, and I'm just gonna show off all the controls and what you can do and how you do things and how to do them and whatnot. This game is pretty easy, assuming you have the patience to play it and you actually feel like reading things. It also helps if you know the controls too. Left and right lets you move left and right. B lets you jump. No real reason to do it other than it's Mario. And if we stand under an object and press X while we are in Bowser's Castle, we can put it... We can not only take it off the pedestal, but we can put it back. I'm going to take the apple because I want to do this level first. I want to use this level as the example. You can also hold Y to run, and press left or right while holding Y to run. Makes it a little easier to get those bonus points. Pressing L lets you use the time machine. We don't even know where to take this apple yet, so I'm not going to mess with it right now. And if you press R, you will go to your history book once you have an item in your possession. By using the control pad and the A button, you'll be able to fill in the blanks. But in order to fill in the blanks, you're going to have to go to Cambridge 1687 in this case, and you're going to have to talk to people there. And I will cover that pretty soon. Also, in case you need to in case you want to select an answer, first you got to press X. And if you want to back out, you can press X, or you can press A to confirm your choice. If you get it right, it'll pop up on the sheet of paper that you were looking at Otherwise, you will get a frowny face at the top of the page. And of course, you can press R to back out. Now to use Time Machine, because we know where to go. Let me look at the book one more time. Yes, Cambridge 1687. Press L to go to the Time Machine. And by using left and right, we can cycle between all the buttons and the switches and everything. For the BC AD switch, you press up to switch to BC and down to switch to AD. For the destination, up and down lets you choose between all of them. And by pressing left or right from here, we can go to other options, including the numbers on the year. Press down to go down a number. Press up to go up a number. So, once we are on the Time Machine, all we have to do is press A, and we'll go time surfing. Now here, you move around with left and right. You can hold R while moving in order to make some sharp turns. And what you want to do is grab 10 mushrooms without touching a fireball, and then run into one of the portals in this nice little mode section thing. Also, you have to hold L to make a sharp left turn and R to make a sharp right turn. And we have now found a portal, now that we collected all 10 mushrooms. And in case you have time on the bonus, on the upper right hand corner, I believe those seconds get added to your score. Also, you don't want to take too long during time surfing, because you'll be kicked back to Bowser's Castle if you do. Anyway, since we had the correct destination and year in the Time Machine when we had the apple in our possession, we are now in 1687 Cambridge. By going up to a door or a thing that looks like a door, you can enter a door and talk to people. Now, while you're talking, you can press up and down to switch between the choices. You can press X to leave again. You can press R to go to the book in case you want to type in answers while you're talking to people. And you can press A to confirm your choice. Hello, can you tell me where I am? Why, this is England's Cambridge University, my man. This is where Isaac Newton went to school. He was a student of mine. Not sure if people talk like that in 1687 Cambridge, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. And if anything looks like it could be an answer to anything, you can just go to the book, just to be safe. And what do you know? It says here that Newton attended a certain university, and we know what it is. It's Cambridge. So press X on that cursor once we turn it red. Select Cambridge as a control pad. Press A. Boom, there you go. If you have several wrong answers, like 1 or 2 wrong answers done before you make a right one, you'll get rid of all your wrong answers. You can get 3 wrong answers before you get booted out of the book. If you do it in the castle, it's perfectly okay. But if you get 3 wrong answers while you are traveling through time, where you're actually at the destination where you're supposed to return the item to, you get kicked back to Bowser's Castle. You don't want that. And no. Press R. And I'm going to press X to back out of here. Another thing that you can do when you are traveling through time is you can press L to activate this little button that lets you return back to Bowser's Castle. Press A to confirm, press L to back out. I'm pressing L to back out, because I'm going to play through this game, or rather this stage, a little normally. What did Isaac Newton do here? Here? Well, to tell you true, Newton did most of his groundbreaking work at his family farm in Woolsthorpe. That was during the 2 years the Black Plague shut down the university. And what do you know? This was mentioned in the book. kinda. And I'm on the wrong blank. But if you press L and R, or left and right rather, between the pages, you'll find out that there are 2 pages. There are always 2 pages to every one of these. So, Black Plague. And I'm gonna back out right here. What is he best known for? I say, that would have to be his theory of gravity and his laws of motion. Perchance you'd care for his second law of motion, which he himself wrote upon this paper. Oh, go on and keep it, lad. In case you hear the sound of a Koopa shell being kicked, that means you've been given an item. In case you get an item, you can switch between them with select. Any items that you collect in an historical era, in any stage in the game, you can't take with you back to the castle. They just go away like they never existed. Do you know if anyone lost an apple? A curious question. An apple? No. I've lost my calculus book myself. I am finding it most difficult to concentrate upon anything else. The reason you're getting these items? You're trading these items for more information. And we won't be able to get him to say anything else unless we talk to other people and get items from them and do some trade-offs. So let's go to another door here. Hi, what's this place? This, my good man, is the Royal Society. We are a collection of learned men of science who meet to provoke scientific discussion. I cannot imagine your business here. Excuse me, I was just asking about Newton. I see. A friend of Isaac's, eh? 'Tis true, it must be said, he is one of the great minds of our age. He was made a full-fledged member at the age of 30, the young upstart. That I know for a fact is another question. Because this blank right here is where we put it down. Wow, what did he do? He may have put me out of business. Take this lens. I grind precision lens for telescopes. The Newtonian reflecting telescope may make them obsolete. So we've got another item. We got the lens, and we will have to give it to somebody. What's a reflecting telescope? Ask his astronomer friend Edmund Halley 2 doors down. I need to find my unfinished manuscript of the Principia to tell you anything more about Newton. It was the only copy in existence. So we're gonna have to talk to other people as well. And I guess I could go 2 doors down, right here. Excuse me, my name is Mario. A pleasure to meet you, sir. I am Edmund Halley, astronomer. So Newton's not going to be the only famous person we're probably going to meet in this era, as well as anyone we have to give items to. Sometimes we'll find other historical figures like Edmund Halley, who discovered Halley's Comet. Edmund Halley, like in Halley's Comet. You refer, no doubt, to the great comet of 1862. That's a typo. That's 1682. 1862 hasn't happened yet. Using Isaac Newton's theory of gravitation and his laws of motion, I have predicted its return in about 76 years. And it did, although he did not live to see it. Sound like you owe a lot to Isaac Newton. He is without peer. In fact, I'm financing the publication of his Principles of Mathematics, which I call by the Latin name Principia for short. You may have this rough draft. Did Isaac Newton help astronomy in other ways? Beyond measure. But just right now I seem to have misplaced my telescope lens. Do you see it, old chap? First of all, I know that I need to put this down. And there's also the Principia. So there's that. Not sure if Newton's 3 laws of motion are mentioned, but I'm going to do that too, because that's obviously pretty obvious that he was the one who did that. And I didn't need to press... What was it? X, excuse me, right there. I just burped, kinda. And... yeah, I just need to switch to the lens while I'm still in here. And go down to offer lens and press A. Ah, just the lens I need. One day in big telescopes we'll use Isaac Newton's discovery that a curved mirror works like a lens. Big metal mirrors don't distort as badly as big glass lenses. So Newton is important to astronomy? Immensely so. His theory of gravitation allows us to understand the orbits of the planets. Perhaps one day we shall send rockets to the moon, and all because of a common apple. Well, Hallie, you're not that far off. You're not that far off at all. An apple, like this. Why yes, when, as a young man, Newton saw an apple fall, he realized that the same force kept the moon in orbit around the Earth. It was a true revelation. And in case you get the "can you tell me anything more," that person has basically told you everything that he needs. Also, I should mention above, not only do you have the item you currently have equipped for the conversation areas in the upper left-hand corner, but you also have the score and you also have the bonus. The quicker you get through these areas, the better. And the more points you get, the better the ending you're probably going to get. Hi, can you tell me where I am? And Merry Christmas to you, sir, and welcome. This is Cambridge, one of the oldest universities in the world. Christmas Day. Apparently, that is an option here. Also, I need to put astronomy in this one. In that little blank there. Gee, what are you studying? Many disciplines of infinite fascination. Astronomy, physics, mathematics. It was, of course, much easier before Isaac Newton invented the calculus. What's calculus? Oh, 'tis to make the head swim. Calculus is a very advanced type of mathematics that has allowed us to solve innumerable problems which have remained mysteries before. You may have this book on calculus. And, yeah, calculus is useful, kids. Please learn it. Please try to remember some of it. Can you tell me why this apple is important? Of what import could such a fruit be? I prithee, leave me now. I must finish this lecture upon Isaac Newton's 3 laws of motion, and the second escapes my memory. Okay, so that's how you're supposed to know about the 3 laws of motion part, even though it's pretty obvious if you've gone to school. But we need to give him force equals mass times acceleration, and we'll give this to him. Also, that is the calculus book. The other book we had was Principia. Strike me down! It's Newton's second law of motion. This is perhaps the most important law in physics. F equals ma. It means force equals mass times acceleration. What are the other laws of motion? The first is that a body, either at rest or moving in a straight line, remains that way unless acted upon by an outside force. Though things in rest tend to stay at rest, and things in motion tend to stay in motion. Unless something like friction happens. Friction is an outside force after all. Galileo was the first to realize that. What are the second and third laws of motion? Well, we know what the second one is. The second is force equals mass times acceleration, as I have said. The third states that for each action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Of course. What else can you tell me about Newton? As with most physicists, he made his most important discoveries in his 20s. He said that at the time his mind was remarkably fit for invention. I must confess I am feeling the same way. And that's pretty much all we can get from him. And we need to give him the Principia. Now, interestingly, whenever you ask a question or give an item to somebody, you actually lose points off the bonus. So again, knowing the questions ahead of time gives you a much bigger bonus, and of course doing your homework in the castle also helps. Ah, my last Principia! Now I can read this while I await publication of his next great work, which I believe he is calling Optics. That's Latin for optics, as no doubt you have surmised. Is that... Oh, that's not one of the blanks, but it is there mentioned anyway. What is optics? It is the study of light and its behavior as it travels through lenses. With a simple prism, Newton has shown that white light is made up of a spectrum of colors. Now, why didn't I think of that? And... what is it? Oh yes, the spectrum of white light. So we need to press X on this blank and then scroll down with down on the control pad to spectrum. And when you hear the sound of Mario entering a pipe, you know you have completed the book. Now we can keep talking to this guy if we want, but... or talk to anyone else if we want, but... we might as well just go ahead and... switch to the apple. I'm not sure if you need to, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then press X to go in here, because that's where Newton is going to be. Now, this first choice is only going to be available, and going to be the only thing available unless you complete the homework. But if you complete the homework, you get another dialogue option. You want to choose the second one, obviously. Mr. Newton, is this your apple? Good heavens, that's it! The apple falls for the same reason that the moon orbits the Earth. It all comes back to me. Thank you, Mario. I can complete the Principia now. Even though there is already a book of it in our possession that we need to give somebody, but don't need to because we got all the questions answered. Okay. Need anything else, Isaac? Not now, Mario, but I dare say I'm baffled. I simply cannot seem to comprehend the physics of how you managed to jump so impressively. He jumps 3 times his height. He does have a point there. Press X to back out, and yeah, he seems to jump 2 or 3 times his height at least. So now that we've gotten all the questions done, we can press L to get this orb open. Press A. If you don't have all the questions done, you get like some sorrowful music. But if you do have all the questions done, you get some happy music. You get some points based on how much you have left on the bonus, and you get a password. Once you're done copying it, press A. You do want to write down all your passwords for later so you can save them in case you're not using save states or emulating. This game is very easy to keep track of. This game very easily keeps track of everything that you have done and in what order you've done it and whatnot. And I mention that because there are 3 endings to this game. There are multiple endings. If you're quick, you get everything on these pedestals from left to right, complete the homework, and get everything returned back to the rightful place in time from left to right on every floor. You get the best ending. There's a second ending where if you're not quick enough, it's kind of a good ending, but it's not the best ending. And if you take more than 1 trip through time to reset all the conversations just so you can get all the homework done, you, at any point in the game, you automatically get the bad ending. So there is that. I might as well mention that, and I will also mention that I'm going for the best ending in my run. But that is how to play through Mario's Time Machine, as well as a means of, well, rather an example of how I would play through it normally if I wanted to play through it normally. I'm not going to be playing through it normally. I'm going to be just running straight through the homework and just using educated guesses and knowing what I need to do to get through the game to get the best ending. So that was part 0. Stay tuned for part 1 where I start this game quote-unquote proper and just blow through the game. I don't know how else to even state that. So until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!